Roller derby is played in increments called jams. Each jam lasts up to 2 minutes. Both teams field up to 5 skaters at the start of the jam. 4 of these skaters are called blockers, and 1 is called the jammer. The jammer wears a helmet cover with a star on it and scores points for the team. The blockers are playing both offense and defense at the same time, and together they make up what is called the pack. The 2 jammers start each jam behind the pack and must get through all of these skaters for an initial pass before they can begin to score points. When the initial pass is complete, a jammer can score 1 point for every opponent they pass with their hips. The first jammer out of the pack legally is declared lead jammer, which means they can end the jam anytime they want before the 2 minutes are up. Sounds easy, right?
My name is Big Bang Theory, and I joined RCR in 2015. I think roller derby kind of saved my life in a way. I got friends out of it, I got community, and I really got like a appreciation for like myself and what I can do, what my body can do. If I didn't have the junior program and if no one supported the junior program, like I definitely would not be the person I am right now. I would not be as happy as I am. I would not be as fulfilled as I am. I never saw athletes like me. I never saw fat athletes. I never saw that. And so to see that and to see queer people and like all of that was like, oh, okay, like I can be a successful and like happy and awesome adult. And I can thrive in this space because other people have thrived in this space. And I just feel like if there are young people out there that are kind of swimming through life like I was and they can find something like this, like that is irreplaceable.
Portland!
Ow.
How is everybody doing tonight? Are you excited to be here? I thought so. My name is Omnivore. I am going to be your MC for this evening, and I am joined on the mics by Furious and Shifty. They're up in the mezzanine.
Ow.
And I gotta say, this game, one of my favorite types of games, because tonight we have wreckers versus wreckers, except with a theme, which makes it even better. Over here we have got our Cowboys versus our Aliens in a classic matchup. Before we get started, and I know that you want to get started, I want you to put your hands together and give a huge round of applause to our volunteers and our officials on skates and off. Without them, there literally would not be derby. So without them, we wouldn't be here tonight. So really, they are the glue that binds us together. Are you ready? Are you ready? There we go. I'm not gonna keep you waiting a moment longer. Furious, who do you have?
Thank you, Nam. It's my pleasure this evening to bring to you in the white. Give it up for the Cowboys. Wearing 815, Tiny Danger. 7-4, Alpacan Heat. 9-0 is Crime Brulee. 208 Rocky Mountain Moisture. 501 Bratmobile. Wearing 37 Uni. 873 Danger Mouse. 814 Edward Scullen. 7-2 Solar Decimation. Number 15 Pretty Hate Machine. Wearing 8-2, it's Ultraviolet. 420 Hamboni. 8008 Orville Wreck. Number 96, give it up for your captain, Velveeta. And last but never least, 3-8 is Dread Lasso. Give it up for the Cowboys.
All right, are you ready? Sometimes good guys don't wear white. In the black, we have the Aliens. Number 333, Britney Smears. Number 17, Belly Flop. Number 262, singular they, them. Number 11, Zapod Beeble Blocks. Number 33, Roswell. Number 220, Cherry Borg. Number 585, Daisy Dukes. Number 67, Galian. Number 19, Debbie Does Malice. Number 86, Sunny. Number 83, E.T. Roll Home. Number 1117, Wooly Bully. Number 202, Slug Bug. Number 342, Big Bad Wolf. Number 12, Dropkick Daisy. Everybody welcome the Aliens.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to what is going to be, I can only imagine, an amazing game this evening. My name is Omnomnomnivore, and I will be here on the live stream with y'all until the bitter end. While we're getting ready here for our first jam of the first period, why don't you tell me where you're streaming from and who you're cheering for? Are you a Cowboys fan? Are you an Aliens fan? They're the Wreckers, so I just love them all. One caveat that I will give at the beginning of the bout here is that people are skating under different names. So the I may mix that up and call them by their normal Wreckers name, but hopefully not. Everybody is dressed up to the nines here this evening. We've got our cows as our officials. And here we go with our first lineup. We've got number 333, Britney Spears, jamming for the team in black, the Aliens, up against Tiny Danger for the Cowboys. There's our whistle. Britney Spears trying for the outside, the inside line, not quite able to get through. Tiny Danger, however, able to get around Debbie Does Malice and pull the lead jammer status. Britney Spears is about 50 feet behind as both jammers get ready to re-enter the pack on their scoring pass. Tiny Danger getting a little bit of assist there. And picking up 3 to the Aliens 1. Looking at the track, we've got a Belly Flop jamming for the team in black up against number 74. That is Alpacan Heat on the team in white. Both jammers taking the center line. Belly Flop picking up lead jammer while Alpacan Heat gets stuck. behind some pretty amazing defense there by Sunny. Belly flop through, picking up a full 5. Lapping Alpacan Heat. Belly flop probably looking to pick up a quick 5 and then calling it. And that's exactly what happened. Sorry, not 5-4. Picking up a quick 4 and calling it off. Coming up on Jam 3 here, and let's see who's wearing the stars. It is Crime Brulee up against the singular they, them. Singular they, them, one of my favorite skaters. Oh, because we had somebody in the penalty box. That would be a direction being that was called there late into the jam on number 86, Sunny. Crime Brulee is out as lead jammer. Singular they, them stuck against one last Cowboy, but getting around and getting through. Nice hit to the inside by Dropkick Daisy, and that forces Crime Brulee to call that jam off. Number 83 on the Aliens is standing in the penalty box. And that's going to be E.T. Roll Home. In for a multiplayer. Tiny Danger jamming for the Cowboys out with lead jammer status. Cap is off for Brittany Spears. And that is a nice cap pass to Zaphod Beeple-Blocks. We have a direction being called on number 342 of the Aliens. That's going to be Big Bad Wolf. Aliens are going to start 1 down. Super close game already, 7-9. I anticipate that it will continue to be a very, very close game. Looks like with the last jam, actually, we were up at the top of the jammer rotation. Alpacan Heat and Belly Flop both facing off again, looking for the middle line. Alpacan Heat taking the outside, able to get through and get lead jammer. Belly Flop still stuck, looking for some help from number 67, Galian. Belly Flop trying to get around Edward Scullin and Uni, stuck at the back. I believe that's also number 38 is Dread Lasso. Another penalty sounds like being called. That'd be on Galian. A direction. Nice jam for the Cowboys, picking up 8 points. Jammers lining up on that jam on Hawthorne jammer line. Waiting for the whistle, and it's Crime Brulee and the singular Theyhem. Crime Brulee quickly finding the outside lane and through, getting lead jammer, being chased down by Cherry Borg. Singular They-Them being pushed to the inside again by Cheery. And a forearm being called on, I believe, one of the white skaters. One of the Cowboys. Yep. That's a forearm being called on number 82. That's going to be Ultraviolet. Crime Brulee picking up a very hard-fought 4 points. Cheering for the officials. They will appreciate that, Mallory. Cherry Borg with the star pass. Pivot for the Aliens, now jammer. And there is the call off by Crime Brulee after picking up another quick 4. Score now standing at 23-9. Cowboys are going to start one down, but not for very long, since their blocker is standing in the box. There's our 5 second. Everybody rolls back. Tiny Danger and Britney Spears. Tiny Danger really starting from a ways back, getting the strong windup to blaze through the pack. Out with lead jammer status. Britney Spears through with the star stash. Sorry. Tiny Danger coming back around after picking up points. Smear looking for a line, not able to find it. Ultraviolet closing down the inside. Tiny Danger working against all 4 alien blockers. Through, picking up 4 and calling it off. Looks like we had a late penalty call on the aliens. Waiting for it to come up on my penalty tracker here. There it is. Number 19. That is going to be Debbie Does Malice. In that penalty box for 30 seconds on an illegal contact. I'd like to take a second to say thank you to Two Town Cider House. They are our Star Pass sponsor. And Rebel Heart Therapy, who's also sponsoring our penalty box, which is amazing. So I'll continue to call them out as we move through this game. But right now it is a timeout, and that is a Welcome to PDX timeout. This timeout brought to you by RCR's official realtor, Welcome to PDX, and Deb Counts Tabor. You should all move to Portland and become Rose City Wreckers. Just call Deb. I think the aliens are going to lock it down here pretty soon, Bendy. I don't know, maybe they're a second half team. They're the Wreckers. They're amazing. There's our whistle. I always wonder during timeouts if somebody else is going to end up in that penalty box, but since it was a team timeout, that's probably not going to happen. Instead, we're going to get back to Derby here in just a moment. There's our whistle. Alpacan Heat and Belly Flop both wearing the stars. Belly Flop finding Edward Scullin right off the bat. Belly Flop trying for the outside, forced out and forced to recycle a little bit. Meanwhile, Alpacan Heat is out and is lead jammer. Looks like we've got a Cowboy headed to the box on a forearm. That's going to be number 37, Uni. That was a very quick jam. Both teams are going to start with one down. Cowboys with a pivot in the box. I'd like to take a second to say thank you to 187 Killer Pads, an exclusive protective gear sponsor of RCR. 187 Killer Pads, often imitated, never duplicated. Stick with the best. What is 814's name? 814 is Edward Scullin, playing on the Cowboys. Crime Brulee and the Singular They Hem wearing the stars. Both teams really locked down in the jammer department, not allowing, or in the blocker department, not allowing those jammers to move very much. Crime Brulee able to spin around, dropkick Daisy, and get out and pick up lead jammer. Singular They Them is about a half a lap behind. Uni out of the penalty box, so now that Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box is empty. Both teams playing with a full 5 on the track. Crime Brulee aggressively calling that jam off after picking up 1. I'd like to take a second to say thank you to Two Towns Cider House, damn fine cider made right here in the Pacific Northwest. If you're at home, head on over to your fridge and pick up a bright cider. Oh, looks like we have a timeout being called. That's a Welcome to PDX timeout. This timeout brought to you by RCR's official realtor, Deb Counts Tabor, and Welcome to PDX. There's our whistle wrapping that time up out. Oh, looks like we have another official timeout. That was very confusing to everybody. You get the 5 seconds and expect the whistle to start the jam, and then you immediately get the four whistle stop. Stop doing what you're doing. Cheery board dancing down on the track. There's another wrap-up whistle. And there is the whistle. Tiny Danger and Brittany Smears again, which means we're at the top of the jammer rotation. Tiny Danger quickly up to the top of the pack, getting through with some beautiful offense by number 96, who is still Velveeta. I had to double check. Cheery force to the inside. Big hit there on Brittany Smears. And that will end that jam. The Two Towns, or the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box is cleared. There's our whistle. Pack and Heat and Belly Flop both jamming this jam. Belly Flop on the toe stops, around on the outside, picking up lead jammer. Alpaca and Heat is still stuck in the back. Oh, but Alpaca and Heat is through. Belly Flop looking to score some points here, getting through and going ahead and calling it off after picking up a quick 4. I'd like to say thank you to Porque No Taqueria. Porque No Taqueria, the sunniest place in Portland, voted the best tacos and Mexican food in PDX. Thank you for being a sponsor. Everybody lining up on that Jam on Hawthorne jammer line. The jam line brought to you by Jam on Hawthorne, Portland's best vegan-friendly, booze-friendly, kid-friendly, omnivore-friendly, and everybody-friendly breakfast. Crime Brulee wearing the star for the Cowboys through for lead jammer. Singular they, them on Crime's heels and actually now in front, which is going to force Crime Brulee to go ahead and call that off. No points will be awarded to either team that jam. I'd like to say thank you to 888, the exclusive protective gear sponsor of RCR. The certified sweat saver, developed, tested, and trusted by the best 888 pads. Tiny Danger and Brittany Smears once again jamming. Brittany Smears finding a wide open lane on the inside through, but Tiny Danger again right behind. Are we going to have another race here? The pack does not speed up. Brittany Smears calling it off as they run into the pack. Cowboys able to pick up 1 point in that exchange. I'd like to say thank you to Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery, John's Landing's favorite saloon and eatery. Alpaca and Heat and Belly Flop wearing the stars. Belly Flop through for lead jammer. Nice slide out there between turn 1 and turn 2. It's a no pass, no penalty situation. So Alpaca and Heat back on skates and moving forward without having to be recycled. It looks like Galian is headed to that Rebel Heart therapy box to hash out that direction penalty and maybe a bit of existential dread too. Rebel Heart therapy, individual and relational therapy, Portland's best for Portland's black sheep and unicorns. Or in this case, aliens or Cowboys. Nice rollback by the Aliens on Alpaca and Heat. Trying to push Alpaca and Heat to the inside, not quite able to do it. Belly flop through, picking up 4 and calling it off. Huge jam for the Aliens there. That is a 12-point jam. Orville Wreck with a little dancing down on the track. Love to see it. Crime Brulee and Singular They Them. They Them trying the inside and getting stuck. Behind number 420, that's going to be Hamboni. Singular They Them now headed to that Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box, which is going to leave Crime Brulee in a power jam, and the jam will go for the full 2 minutes. I believe Singular They Them went to the box on a cut track. A jammer's worst nightmare. The sneaky, sneaky cut tracks. Somebody else. Oh, that's going to be number 82 on the Cowboys. Ultraviolet. Somehow that was a really quick 2 minutes. Anyways, Ultraviolet went to the penalty box on an illegal position. Tiny Danger starting in a power jam. Singular They Them back on the track. Tiny Danger trying to capitalize on that tiny bit of power jam. Tiny Danger was through and then tripped on their toe stops, but it was, again, a no pass, no penalty. Tiny Danger calling it off very strategically. I'd like to thank you to Black Cat Plumbing, your local neighborhood plumbing company and a proud sponsor of RCR since forever. And isn't that true? I think Black Cat's been a sponsor as long as I've been a part of the league. Both teams starting with 1 in that Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box. So both teams at an equal disadvantage. Meanwhile, Alpaca and Heat and Belly Flop both jamming. Alpaca and Heat trying to move to the front of the pack, but Belly Flop is able to find a way through. Alpaca and Heat half a track behind. That is Uni heading to that penalty box for the Cowboys on a direction. Belly Flop able to get around everybody, busting through their own blockers, picking up 4. That's a forearm being called on number 86, Sunny. It is a revolving door in the penalty box right now. Belly Flop calling it off. With about 12 minutes left to go in period 1, we've got a score of 53 to Cowboys to 39 Aliens. Those of you joining us on the stream, where are you tuning in from and who are you cheering for? Either team or specific skater. I'd love to know. Crime Brulee and Singular They Them. Singular They Them looking for a way through, and they do it. Singular They Them through without any resistance, taking the moment to go ahead and call it off after picking up a quick 4 for the Aliens. Penalty box is clear. Tiny Danger and Brittany Smears. Brittany Smears seeing a wide open lane on the outside, taking full advantage of it, getting out and becoming lead jammer. Tiny Danger 2 turns behind, coming around that bend at full speed on 1 skate. Creme Brulee going ahead and calling that jam off after picking up 3. I love the commitment to the theme by a lot of these skaters. Skating in full chaps. That is Rocky Mountain Moisture. Alpaca Heat and belly flop. Belly flop quickly to the front. Alpaca Heat really not very far behind. These jammers are so equally matched, and everybody skates with everybody, so everybody knows everybody else's tricks. Alpaca Heat sliding out in the corner, which does give belly flop just the tiniest advantage to get through and pick up 4. Daisy Dukes is doing an amazing job, Lincoln. Cherry Borg always excited down there on the track. One of my favorite skaters to watch. Singular They Him and Crime Brulee once again jamming against each other. Yes, go Cowboys, Gabby Jean. Curvy Queen. That rolls off the tongue very nicely. Hamboni headed to the penalty box on a forearm. Meanwhile, Singular Theyhem out as lead jammer, while Crime Brulee still struggles against those alien blockers. Cherry Borg going ahead and backing up. Wooly Bully doing a great job down there as well. And Daisy Dukes. And it looks like we might have a star pass. We sure do. That it was a Two-Town Cider Star Pass brought to you by Two-Town Cider House, boldly crafted, fresh pressed cider made right here in Oregon. Going for the Cowboys. Well, it's down to a 1-point game, y'all. It is 53-52. I sense a lead change happening here momentarily. Everybody's looking really good on penalties. The most I've got on the board right now is 2. Tiny Danger and Brittany Smears once again facing off. Tiny Danger using the inside to their advantage. Smear is about half a track behind. Let's see what Tiny does. Uses Velveeta to plow through. And I believe that was E.T. Roll Home. Forcing the call off. I'd like to take a second to say thank you to Ritual Dyes, Portland's local yarn shop with hand-dyed yarn, tools, and more, owned by a Bud's parent and a Wreckers skater. That Wreckers skater being Wooly Bully. Number 90, Crime Brulee, Gabby Jean Curvy Queen. That's a good skater to cheer for. Alpaca Heat and Belly Flop both jamming this jam. Alpaca Heat, lead jammer this time around with about 7 minutes left in the game. I see a cut track being called down there somewhere. Who's going to the box on a cut track? That is going to be number 38, Dread Lasso. Naughty, naughty cut tracks. And it looks like number 11, who's currently standing in the box, went there for a forearm. That's going to be Zaphod Beebleblox. Personally, I believe one of the best, most creative names this evening. Daisy Dukes is jamming for the first time for the Aliens. And it is a team timeout. This timeout brought to you by RCR's official realtor, Welcome to PDX, and Deb Counts Tabor. Go Eddie, number 814, love from Eugene. Hannah, thank you for tuning in with us tonight. While I have everybody's attention, I'd like to say thank you to Sasquatch HR, making nonprofit and small business workplaces better at sasquatchr.org. Go Big Bad Wolf, much love from your brother. Thank you so much, Kieran. Wolf doing an amazing job this evening. Daisy Dukes and Crime Brulee are jammers. This team timeout is not quite wrapped up yet. Actually, I guess it is, because there's our whistle. Daisy Dukes working back and forth, trying to find an outside line, getting some very wonderful offense from Dropkick Daisy. Daisy Dukes is our lead jammer. Crime Brulee is right on Daisy's heels. Daisy Dukes going ahead and calling it off if we're re-engaging with the pack. Looks like we've got 2 Cowboys in the box, in that Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box right now. On a, I believe one's there for a cut track and one's there for a direction. Oregon sounds nice. Oregon's wonderful. Although it is probably a lot cooler here right now than it is in Las Vegas. You should come visit us. Tiny Danger and Brittany Smears wearing the star caps. Smear out, lead jammer. Tiny Danger taking a nice whip there. Oh, nice hit by number 501 on the team in white. That's going to be Bratmobile. They did an amazing job there. Tiny Danger through without any resistance whatsoever, really using size to their advantage. Brittany Smears going in and calling it off. We have a ref calling a cut track. Cut track on Brittany Smear. So Brittany Smear was lead, right? I don't remember now. I've got jamnesia. Yeah, I think Brittany Smear was lead, but now called it off, but then got a cut track. I don't really know what happened. In any case, Alpaca and Heat starting in a power jam situation for the Cowboys, getting out and claiming lead jammer. Alpaca and Heat with 1 to beat in Sunny Demolition. Galeon coming in trying to slow Alpaca and Heat down. A nice move there by number 202 on the Aliens, or maybe that was, nope, that was Slugbug. Big hits being tossed out. The Aliens not able to finish their initial pass. I'd like to take a second to say thank you to Dr. Tim Williams, RCR's sports medicine partner. Thank you, Dr. Tim Williams, for being a sponsor. Singular Theyhem and Crime Brulee. Once again, Singular Theyhem seeing an opportunity and taking it, and simultaneously picking up lead jammer status. That's a direction being called on someone. Crime Brulee through on a star stash. Beautiful move by Singular Theyhem to move around those blockers. Almost a bend it like Beckham moment, picking up 4 for the Aliens. Only 5 points separate these teams with 3 minutes left to go in our first period. Thank you, Robin, for tuning in. Looking good, Eddie. Love from Buffalo. You are up late. And I say that as somebody who believes that 8:40 in the evening is also late. And yet here I am. Tiny Danger and Belly Flop once again. Belly Flop, without hesitation, gets lead jammer. Tiny Danger trying to, not trying to, getting some help from number 72, Solar Decimation. Belly Flop looking to call off the jam, but instead gets a cut track. That is going to leave Tiny Danger in a power jam situation as Belly Flop cools their jets in that Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box. Tiny Danger signaling something that only they know. Tiny Danger also looking to call the jam off, but they are not lead. There is no lead. It will go the full 2 minutes. Zaphod Biba blocks back on the track. And Tiny Danger just getting around Zaphod so quickly and easily. We have a high block being called on number 86. That is Velveeta, I believe. Or 96. Yep. First penalty for Velveeta. Belly Flop through on a nice little move. 30-ish seconds left in this jam and just over a minute left in the period. Belly Flop able to catch the entire pack sleeping, quickly picking up 4 points. Tiny Danger coming back around and also picking up 4 points. I think these teams are ready for a halftime. Well, Robin, we're staying up late together, although separated by several thousand miles. Sounds like there's another penalty being called. 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. This jam finally comes to an end. And that is skater number 8008 on the Cowboys, Orville Wreck, who went to a penalty or went to the box there on an illegal position. In case you didn't know, an illegal position could include destruction, skating out of bounds, failure to reform, failure to return, and failure to yield. I'm glad somebody else makes those determinations because I can just read the letters on my penalty screen. But I'm also usually not looking at where the penalty is occurring. We do have an official review happening. That's exciting. That hasn't happened yet. What do you think it's on? What do you think we have an official review about? For a hint, it's being called by the Aliens, the team in black. What's up, Susan Afonso? Go Cowboys. Only 10 points separating our two teams right now. Oh, looks like we're going to get some information here in just a second. I see Bling, maybe Bling Huckleberry, picking up the microphone. Nothing yet. While I have a second, I can say thank you to somebody else. How about WSL Leadership Coaching? Do right by your people. Learn how at WSLleadership.com. One of the things that I love about roller derby is there's always smiles on the track. Everybody's always happy. It's fun, especially with these Rutgers games where we've got teammates playing teammates. It's just is always such a good time. The Rutgers games are probably some of my favorite games to watch and some of my favorite games to announce as well because they're always close. It's always a very tight game. Oh, we're going to send it down.
Those aliens are getting in your head, aren't they? That's what they do. The aliens, they just get in there. It's the alien wave.
Well, they were looking for a forearm call, and they didn't get it, so the no call will stand. If I heard correctly, Melon, watching from Australia. Goodness gracious. Is it just really early for you? Is it morning? I forget how many hours difference we have between us and Australia. That's not something I keep in my brain at all times. Meanwhile, back to the game, Alpaca and Heat and Brittany Smears both jamming. Brittany Smears picking up lead jammer pretty quickly. 26 seconds left in this period. And only 10 points separate these two teams right now. Smear looking to pick those points up, able to get around those Cowboys without any hesitation. Alpaca and Heat with the star stashed. Just kidding, that is a two-town cider star pass to Uni. Brittany Smears getting some yelling from the bench to go ahead and call it, which they do. And just like that, we are at intermission. Only 5 points separate these two teams as we come back into the second half. Go ahead and grab yourself a snack or a refreshment, and I'll see you in about 14 minutes.
Please, please, please come down now. Don't be scared, I only wanna help you down. Throw down the ladder, I'll climb up the tree. Find your feet, follow me. Take your time, there's no rush. Pace yourself, just focus on the two of us. Fight back your worry, I'll show you the way. Lean on me, you know it's gonna be okay. If I do, you can do it too. Try to, you can do it just like me. First foot down on the count of three, 'cause if I do, you can do it too. Try to, you can do it just like me. Sun's gone west, time for bed. Take my hand, don't look over the edge. Give me your troubles, I won't let you fall. I won't let you fall. Step by step, we gon' make it through the door. If I do, you can do it too. Try to, you can do it just like me. First foot down on the count of three, 'cause if I do, you can do it too. Try to, you can do it just like me.
Welcome back, everyone. We've got just under 30 seconds before we start the second half of this bout. And you know, there's one person that I have to say thank you to that you guys never see, and that is Evie. Evie is our special streaming volunteer, and oh my goodness, are they freaking amazing. So thank you, Evie, for everything that you do all the time and making it so that everyone from New Hampshire to Australia can watch the game. Okay, are you guys ready for another amazing 30 minutes of roller derby here? Only 5 points are separating our two teams. We're on a tight jammer rotation. Wendy says, go crime, go crime. We've got some New Hampshire people. Susan, Wendy, you guys should get together and have a watch party. Susan cheering for number 38. It would help if you told me which team they're on. I'm just going to have to look through things. That's Dread Lasso. Of course it's Dread Lasso. There's the 5 seconds coming from Doof, which means the whistle is imminent. Tiny Danger and Brittany Smears are jammers this time around. Oh, and just like that, we have a forearm being called. That's going to be on number 83, also known as ET Roll Home. Tiny Danger out for lead jammer status. Brittany Smears still working against the pack there. That was a nice escort to the inside by number 501, Bratmobile. And we just had a two-town cider star pass to Zaphod Beeble on the Aliens. Tiny Danger going to get through, pick up 4 points, and call it off. Both teams with one sitting in that Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box. That 8 points just scored there by the Cowboys did put them up to 101 to 88. But you know what? 28 minutes is a lot of time in Derby. Alpaca and Heat and Belly Flop both wearing the stars. Alpaca and Heat trying to go straight up the middle, but finding Sunny Demolition and company. Slugbug. It was Sunny Demolition and Slugbug. Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box is clear. Both teams with 5 on the track. Belly Flop with a little bit of a recycle, finding Uni at the back of the pack. Belly Flop through on initial. Alpaca and Heat going ahead and calling it off after picking up 2. Houston here for Dread Lasso. Go Alpaca and Heat. Thank you, Allison and Misty Morn, for tuning in. And Evan, big half coming from Edward Skull, and all of South Lake Tahoe is rooting for the Cowboys. I love to hear it. There's our whistle, Crime Brulee, Singular Mayhem. Singular Mayhem running on the toe stops up the inside, picking up lead jammer, but Crime Brulee is not letting that go unanswered and is only about 20 feet behind Singular Mayhem, continuing to look over their shoulder and calling it off after picking up 1 point. Let's go Cowboys from Tahoe. Heck yes. Cowboys now sitting at 103 points to Aliens 89. And I didn't really do a penalty recap as we started back up, but that's because everybody's looking really good. The most penalties I see are 3 on each team, so nobody's in danger of anything from that. It's been a very, very clean game. Meanwhile, we have a timeout, and hopefully by now you know what that means. It's a Deb Counts Tabor. Welcome to PDX Timeout. This timeout brought to you by RCR's official realtor, Deb Counts Tabor, and welcome to PDX. Looks like we might be doing a little bit of track repair. I'm going to stand up so I can see. Oh, yep, looks like we have water, spit, some sort of fluid on the ground. Maggie says, go Tiny Danger. Cheering for the Cowboys from the Lone Star State. goodness gracious. We've got some South Lake Tahoe. We've got some Texas. We've got some New Hampshire. We've got some Australia. You guys are making it an international affair, a continental and international affair tonight. I really appreciate that. Tiny Danger and Brittany Smears both jamming. Tiny Danger out with lead jammer Zaphod Beeblebrox headed to the penalty box on what? I'm not super sure, but it'll pop up. There it is. It's a forearm. That's what all 4 of Zaphod's penalties have been this evening, is forearms. Cowboys picking up 4 points and calling it off. Shout out to the refs. They are doing an amazing job, aren't they, Wendy? RCR has the best refs. I know I'm a little biased, but I think they really are. They all have my deep appreciation and heartfelt love and thanks. There's our whistle. Belly flop taking off like a rocket, only to meet Cheery Borg, Pretty Hate Machine, who is not Pretty Hate Machine tonight. They are Pretty Hate Machine tonight. Just kidding. Bratmobile is lead jammer, however. Ooh, and a lot of penalties just got called. That is a full penalty box. We're seeing some people rotating in and out. We had an illegal position, must have been a pack destruction or a failure to reform. When everybody gets the P's, that's usually what it is. And it can be absolutely devastating. Meanwhile, Bratmobile has picked up 8 points so far. Belly flop answering it each time. And right now, we only have 4 blockers on the track, 2 on each team. Galian doing a great job of slowing down Bratmobile. Meanwhile, Belly flop out in front. Bratmobile going ahead and saying discretion is the better part of valor and calls the game off, or calls that jam off. Penalty box, Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box is almost empty at this point with just a singular person sitting over there. So, fortunately, because you can't play roller derby without skaters, we're going to have most of our skaters on the track. We'll have 9. Aliens, 1 down. Wish you guys were here in person, but I'm glad that you're tuning in online. Crime Brulee and Brittany Smears wearing the stars. Crime Brulee finding a way through on the outside, picking up lead jammer. Brittany Smears trying to push through the inside, moving to the middle. Meanwhile, we've got Hamboni headed to the penalty box on a multiplayer block. Crime Brulee coming back around, stepping around 8008 Orville Wreck to pick up 4. Brittany Smears still stuck in that fray. Star is off, although not passed. It is just stashed. And that is, I keep messing it up, Rocky Mountain Moisture and Orville Wreck, causing Brittany Smears some problems. Brittany Smears now through on initial pass. I was staring at the officials as I said that. There's the end of the jam. Still only 24 points separating our 2 teams here. That is 1 jam. That is all that is. That is not any sort of a major deficit. Cheery Borg, again, one of my favorite skaters. Always fun to watch Cheery. Just be cheery down on the track. Cheery's always having fun. Meanwhile, we've got Singular Mayhem up against Tiny Danger. Tiny Danger just through with a quickness. Such quick feet. Singular Mayhem answering that call, though, and through as well, only about 30 feet behind. Tiny Danger coming into the pack at full speed, meeting Cherry Borg and company, forcing a call off. Big collision between the 2 of them, making sure everybody is okay, and they are. So glad that all of you have chosen to spend your time with me on a Friday night. During the 90s, did any of you listen to, well, for us here in Portland, it was 94.7 NRK, but it was Late Nights with Daria. When you all tune in to be with me on a Friday night, it is my own personal Daria moment, and I really love it. makes me feel far more important than I probably have any business feeling. But I do so appreciate it. It lets me indulge in one of my 90s fantasies. While waxing poetic about that, turns out we have an official timeout. Again, you know what that means. It's a welcome to Portland, welcome to PDX timeout. Brought to you by Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor. So Australia, you never answered me. What time is it right now in Australia? Melon. I guess I could look it up on the phone or the computer that I have sitting right in front of me, but I would rather watch a narrate derby. Bratmobile and Belly Flop. Bratmobile entering the jammer rotation now for the Cowboys, which is pretty exciting. Bratmobile through, picking up lead jammer. Belly Flop recycled back to the back. Finding Pretty Hate Machine, Edward Scullin, getting some nice offense from Sunny Demolition. Bratmobile through, picking up 4, skating around Uni. Nice swing from Sunny Demolition, picking up a no pass, no penalty, since Sunny went out of bounds as well, which really means you just don't have to recycle. Ooh, collision with the refs, never good. Everybody recovering. Bratmobile calling it off. 2 p.m. That's not bad. Oh, Ella said 2 p.m. Early set. Thank you, Ella, coming in on the assist there. Early Saturday afternoon. It's past my bedtime. I wish it was early Saturday afternoon. Actually, if it was early Saturday afternoon, tomorrow, I will actually be back here at the hangar taking my junior, my bud, to practice. Because not only do we have adult roller derby here in the City of Roses, we've also got amazing junior roller derby. Our buds are currently in their exhibition season, but we're also in travel season as well. So we've got a national and a regional buds travel team. That's our 12 to 17-year-olds. They play some amazing derby. In fact, next weekend is going to be Bridge City Riot here at the hangar, where we have 4 teams, I believe, 5 teams, somewhere in that area. Junior teams who are going to be coming and playing in a tournament over 2 days. So please come back and tune in on that. Zaphod Beeble blocks, now jammer of record for the Aliens, and is lead jammer. Of course Zaphod is lead jammer with their terrible towel. Crime Brulee jamming, not able to pick up any points. You know, I've read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy about 1,000 times. It's probably one of my favorite sci-fi fantasy books. And Zaphod is an amazing character. If you've never read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, if you've only watched the movies, you need to pick the book up. Get him Eddie, 814 coming in solid. We love you from Evan and Robin. Or hi, Evan and Robin. Edward Scullin is doing an amazing job tonight. Tiny Danger and singular they, them, they, him. Tiny Danger, I really feel like is almost batting 1,000 in terms of lead jammer. Tiny Danger really leaving it out all out on the track. Oh, that's what I thought. We were going to go for a little apex hop. Both jammers finding their way to the inside and out of bounds. Neither jammer picking up any points. Go, 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 Lasso. Love my 38. Thank you, Katrina. I am sure Lasso will love hearing that when they hopefully watch the stream again. We have 1 blocker in the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box. Number 83 on a forearm. Alpacan Heat and Belly Flop are both wearing the stars. Going up the middle, Belly Flop pushing heavily against that Cowboy tripod. Edward Scullin trying to slow Belly Flop down, not quite able to do it. We have a forearm being called on number 133 of the Aliens. Well, it can't be number 133. It is 133. That's a high block. Sorry. No. We have 18 and a half minutes left to go in this game. 25 points between the two teams. Again, very, very easy to make up that deficit. I hope we'll see some of you folks tomorrow as we have a double header back here in the hangar with our home teams. Crime Brulee and Brittany Smears wearing the stars. We've got number 82 on the Cowboys headed to the penalty box. That is Ultraviolet on a back block. A big B. Beautiful defensive work there by Rocky Mountain Moisture, slowing Brittany Smears down. Crime Brulee with the star stash, sliding out in turn 2. Zaphod Beeble blocks and company stopping Crime. We have a star pass to Rocky Mountain Moisture on the Cowboys. I believe that was the first time Rocky Mountain, no, that is not the first time Rocky Mountain Moisture is jamming, but that does force the call off. That was a late penalty called on the Aliens. Again, I think for an illegal position. Singular Thayhem, lead jammer. Tiny Danger looking for the inside, getting hit by Cherryborg. Cherryborg ending up with a forearm and going to the penalty box, taking a 30-second sit in the Rebel Heart Therapy penalty box, which is full right now of alien blockers. Cherryborg is going to have to take a seat. Both of the other blockers are standing. And I saw the T being called down on the track. That is going to be a timeout. Again, you know what that means. It's a Welcome to PDX timeout. This timeout brought to you by RCR's official realtor, Deb Counts Tabor, and a Welcome to PDX. I'd like to take a second to say thank you to Menopause Northwest, Portland Vital Signs. Thank you so much for being sponsors. And help make our sponsors happy. You can go ahead and snap, post, and tag hashtag RCR sponsor, and you could win VIP tickets to one of our games. And there's so many to choose from. Think about all the things that I've already called out this evening. We've got Jam on Hawthorne, Two Town Cider House, Rebel Heart Therapy, 187 Killer Pads, 888. The list goes on and on because RCR has the most amazing list of sponsors. And then those of you online, I don't feel like I have to tell you this, but don't forget to follow and tag at Rose City Rollers on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Gabby Jean, Kirby Queen, Crime Brulee absolutely does got this. Crime Brulee with an amazing game tonight. I'm very interested to see who's going to get our MVP blockers and MVP jammers, because Crime Brulee is definitely up there in the running. Alpaca and Heat and Belly Flop both wearing the stars. Alpaca and Heat just barely beating Belly Flop out. A little bit of jammer on jammer defensive action there. Nice swing by Alpaca and Heat on Belly Flop. Goes ahead and calls it off because Belly Flop has gotten ahead. Nice high fives down there on the track. 23 points between the teams with 15 minutes left to go. We're about halfway through period 2. And I know you can't see it, but I am up here enjoying a Rogue Spirits sparkling craft cocktail. If you have them in your local store, they are well worth it. Man, are they delicious. Bratmobile and Daisy Dukes wearing the Jammer Stars. That's a new jammer rotation there. Bratmobile has jammed previously in this game. Bratmobile out with lead jammer. Daisy Dukes looking for the pivot. Zaphod Daisy Duke's able to get through and get around Orville Wreck. And geez Louise, meeting up instead with Rocky Mountain Moisture. I would not be surprised if Rocky Mountain Moisture, although they did just pull a penalty on that, would not be surprised if they got most valuable blocker. But that could actually go to anybody. The insane amount of beautiful blocking that we've seen this game really does mean that that MVB is anybody's to take. Since Bratmobile did go to the penalty box, means it's going to be a full 2-minute jam, and we have no lead jammer. Daisy Dukes hard fought through, picking up 4 points. Good job, Daisy Dukes. Bratmobile back in the fray now, as is Rocky Mountain Moisture. Bratmobile through. I keep wanting to say Dr. Spank and Grind, but it's Zaphod today. It is Zaphod Beeble Blocks. Looking for a late or a hit there, not quite able to chase down Bratmobile. Daisy Dukes through for another 4. That is an 8-point jam so far for Daisy Dukes. Well, we have a direction being called on somebody. That is going to be Ultraviolet, number 82, on the Cowboys. You know, I used to play roller derby back in the day, and these 2-minute jams, first of all, you couldn't pay me enough to take the Jammer Star, but I did occasionally pivot. And let me tell you, 2-minute jams, I wanted to just evaporate at the end of them. So I can only imagine how our teams down there who actually know what they're doing are feeling after a 2-minute jam. I hear Edward Scullin eats nails for breakfast. Funny, Megan, I have heard the exact same rumor. Must not be a rumor if we both heard it. Let's go Cowboys. Shout out from Nancy and Jerry. Keep on jamming. Nice to see you here this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's another timeout. I should ask you all now, what does a timeout mean? What can you anticipate me saying during a timeout? Let's call out to one of our best and most amazing sponsors. That's right. It is a welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor timeout. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but down in the audience they're going, ooh, ooh, ooh. And they're doing it in time to Doof doing the timeout and pointing to the team. It is hilarious. Doof cannot keep a straight face. The officials are supposed to be team no smile, but Doof cannot keep that in. Looks like we're just about done with this team timeout. I really want to know who Doof's very pleasant hecklers are out there in the audience. There's our whistle. Tiny Danger and Singular Mayhem, both wearing the star. Tiny Danger, oh gosh, that's a close one. Tiny Danger is lead jammer, but Singular Mayhem so close behind. Tiny Danger's gonna have to get through and just call it. Tiny Danger got 3. Yep, very easily got 3. Unfortunately, Singular Mayhem not able to pick any up, but that's okay. I'm the worst person to watch sports with because I'm like, I just wish everybody could win. I am literally the participation trophy person of sports. I don't like watching the Super Bowl because I don't like it that somebody has to lose. Fortunately, here tonight, the Wreckers still win, so it doesn't hurt my feelings as much. Alpac and Heat and Belly Flop. Belly Flop, lead jammer, again, very close. Alpac and Heat only 10 to 20 feet behind. The pack is speeding up a little bit. Belly Flop looking to come through, grab points, and call it off. And there it is. Beautiful. No call off, though. Belly Flop putting a lot of trust in their team to go ahead and stop Alpac and Heat, which Sunny Demolition does a really good job, along with Galian and company. I know Paul Bunyan's isn't actually skating under Paul Bunyan's, but maybe Paul Bunyan's is Paul Bunyan's tonight. Anyways, that's who number 133 is. Ultraviolet, our first skater in any sort of quote-unquote danger. Ultraviolet with 5 penalties. Everybody out there in Derby land, at 7 penalties, a skater is asked to leave the game. Crime Brulee and Brittany Smears, both wearing the stars. I especially love that Orville Rec has Yeehaw written on their shorts. It makes me so happy. Brittany Smears is going to be our lead jammer. Oh, cheering you all on. Hot Dog Mausoleum, Hearts, and Crow City say hello. I have another deep love for Crow City. That was my team back in the day. Love you guys. And Hot Dog, I see you here, and every time I see you, I giggle because your name is just the best. 10 minutes left in this period. We have a score of 156 to 140, 16 points. Come on now. That's insane. It's not as close as the 1 point we had earlier, but it's definitely less than 1 jam difference between the two teams. Tiny Danger and Singular Mayhem both wearing the stars. Singular Mayhem trying for the inside, but finding Velveeta and Solar Decimation instead. Tiny Danger out, lead jammer. Pack is moving pretty quickly. Ooh, a big hit there at the end by Cherryborg. Cherryborg. It does, Tiny Danger does kick Heine. Official review. The Aliens are asking for an official review. And Doof's Pleasant Hecklers. I'm actually gonna stick my head over and see who's doing this. Turns out it's a whole section of people. But it makes me so happy. It just makes me giggle. This is a great time while the officials are deliberating to say thank you to Trailhead Credit Union and Lionheart Kombucha. Thank you so much for being our sponsors. If you've got a junior and you're going to be in the Portland metro area over the summer, I'd like to say, why don't you sign them up for a junior summer camp? So our summer camps are amazing. They happen every week, and they're filling fast. There are 5 weeks of camp available from July 8th to August 9th. Register now at rosecityrollers.com. My skater has both been a camper and a counselor multiple times. Can't say enough good things about him. Coached by some amazing, counselor or coach by some amazing RCR skaters. Oh, and looking at my penalty tracker here, Zaphod Beeblblocks is also at 5 penalties. And you know what? Oh.
Cut call on the jammer in the previous jam. Upon review, there was not enough information to issue the cut call, therefore they will not retain the review.
Thank you, Smush. So it looks like the Aliens were looking for a cut track on the Cowboy Jammer. Nobody saw it, so they don't retain it. Zaphod Beeblblocks also sitting at 5 penalties. Amazingly, all forearms. So that official review is probably going to be coming to a natural end here. But not before I can say thank you to 187 Killer Pads, an exclusive protective gear sponsor of RCR. 187 Killer Pads, worn by the most pros in the world. If you skate, you know why. Nine minutes and 40 seconds left on the period clock. There's our whistle, Alpacan Heat and Belly Flop. Alpacan Heat out as lead jammer. Great job Belly flop stuck in the back, finding so many blockers, but namely number 38, Dread Lasso, with an amazing mustache this game. I haven't called that out yet, and I should have. Dread Lasso's mustache, chef's kiss. Alpac and Heat picked up 4 pretty quickly. Belly flop answers with 4. And there is the whistle. Cowboys are going to end that jam with 7 points on the board. Score 165 to 144. I'd like to say thank you to the Portland Mercury and Secret Aardvark. Thank you for being our sponsors. We've got some excitement happening. Crime Brulee and Brittany Smears both jamming. Smear out, picking up lead jammer with a quickness. Actually in less than like 4 seconds after that jam timer started. Crime Brulee still stuck in the back behind Debbie Does Malice. The star is off. Crime Brulee looking for the pivot. And they connected with the pivot. That is going to be Rocky Mountain Moisture. Now the jammer for the Cowboys. And just so as you know, that was a Two-Town Star Pass that was brought to you by Two-Town Cider House, boldly crafted, fresh pressed, and cider made right here in Oregon. Super nice stash, Susan. Oh, we're doing the wave. That's what we're doing down there. I hear a lot of cheering as it goes underneath me. I should have known it was the wave, but I did just get visual confirmation. Tiny Danger and Singular Mayhem are jammers of record. Tiny Danger trying to get through. Picking up lead jammer. It looked like for a second that was a really big hit with Cheery Borg. Looks like helmets hit each other. Everybody seems to be fine. That is a star stash and a star pass from Singular Mayhem to Cherry Borg. Cherry Borg now jamming. Hit to the inside and rolled back first. Penalty upon penalty upon penalty being called down there. First we have a cut track on number 72 on the Cowboys. That's going to be Solar Decimation. Jam is now over. Singular Mayhem also in the penalty box, sitting in the jammer spot, but I'm unsure if they are the jammer or not. Because they did have a completed star pass to Cherry Borg. Yep, they just went ahead and moved over into a blocker position. So the Aliens are going to be able to field a jammer this next jam. And that jammer is going to be Belly Flop, but not before another timeout. Not just another timeout, another Deb Counts Tabor Welcome to PDX timeout. Did you know that our jammer line is sponsored by the Jam on Hawthorne? The Jam line is brought to you by Jam on Hawthorne, Portland's best vegan-friendly, booze-friendly, kid-friendly, omnom-nomnivore-friendly, everybody-friendly breakfast. One of the best places in Portland to grab breakfast, that is. It makes me want to go out for breakfast tomorrow, actually. There's the whistle, wrapping that timeout up. And our whistle, Alpac and Heat and Belly Flop, both wearing the stars. Belly Flop out, picking up lead jammer with a quickness. Alpac and Heat close behind, but having to get around Galian first. Pivot 86, Sunny, also causing havoc down there. Jam is called off. Singular Mayhem still in the box. 67, Galian at the last minute there getting called on a cut track, sent to the box on that. So the Aliens are going to start 2 down. Debbie Does Malice being called off the track at the last minute. Aliens realized that they had fielded one too many people. Crime Brulee now lead jammer. We have a Cowboy going to the penalty box on a forearm. That is number 82 again, Ultraviolet. Ultraviolet now at 6 penalties in the orange zone. Crime Brulee is our lead jammer. Singular Mayhem back on the track, and we have a two-town sider star pass on the Aliens to Zaphod Beeple Blocks. One thing that is almost certain is that unless it is a 2-minute jam, that star pass is going to trigger a call-off, which is exactly what it did. Cheery Borg wearing the star now for the Aliens. Up against number 501, that is Bratmobile on the white on the Cowboys. Super exciting. Cheery Borg is a very fun person to watch as a jammer. Just an absolute tank. The mascot of the Wreckers is a wrecking ball, and that is what Cheery Bomb is, or Cheery Borg, sorry. In the best possible way. I love watching Cheery Borg. Cheery working back and forth with some great lateral movement against Velveeta and number 37. That's going to be Uni. Hit to the inside and not very much of a rollback. Uni one-on-one blocking Cheery. Cheery through, picking up lead 40 seconds into the jam. Cheery coming back around. Bratmobile through on initial. Cheery calling it off. No points awarded to either team. 3 minutes left in the game. How did the second half go so quickly? I swear the last time I looked up there we had 15 minutes. And now we're at less than 3. Bev Dixon says, hi, John and Kathy. Also love to say thank you to our DJ tonight, DJ Sappho, bringing the beats. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it is a very festive mood, vibe here in the hangar. Belly Flop, now our lead jammer for the Aliens. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the period clock. Only a minute and 37 left on the jam timer, so probably we'll get 1 to 2 more jams. 20-something points between, 25 points between the two teams. Alpaca and Heat through on a star stash. Belly Flop coming back through. Aliens really need these points. Beautiful, beautiful apex jump by Belly Flop to get through and pick up that additional 4. Aliens now at 8 points for the jam. Oh, and Alpaca and Heat headed to the penalty box. That's going to leave Belly Flop and the Aliens in a power jam. If you are cheering for the Aliens, now is the time to do it. And our crowd literally goes wild. Belly Flop quickly closing the point gap between these two teams. Rocky Mountain Moisture, the last one to beat. Belly Flop picking up another 4. Amazing jam for Belly. Pack is starting to move a little bit. Alpaca and Heat is back on the track. Can Belly Flop pick up another 4 following 133 through the pack? Big hits being dished out down there. Belly Flop through for another 4. That is the end of that jam, and goodness gracious, that brought us to 176, 185. Only 9 points now remain between these two teams with 1 jam on the line. 37 seconds left on that track or on that clock, and we have a team timeout called. The heat is on, Bev, in all of the best ways. I said at the beginning, I knew it was going to be a tight game. I knew it was going to come down to the last couple of seconds that we have here tonight, and I am so validated in knowing that I was correct. So if you have any vibes or well wishes to put out there into the universe right now from afar, I would definitely suggest putting those out there. Because this last jam is going to be what decides who's going to win this Wreckers v. Wreckers. I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to our neighborhood restaurants, our neighborhood sponsors, Big's Chickens, 808, and Reverence Barbecue. Thank you so much for being delicious, delicious sponsors. And here it is, our likely last jam of the evening. And it is going to see no black jammer. Oh, the team in black didn't field a jammer. That could have been it. Singular Mayhem coming out as a jammer. Daisy Dukes going back to the bench because we got a late penalty called on an alien skater for a penalty that is an interference. I don't even know how you get an interference penalty. Oh, delay of game. That is what it is. It's a delay of game, which I guess I think it's a coach's penalty because they failed to field a jammer. Singular Mayhem and Crime Brulee come on. Who's it going to be? Singular Mayhem forced to the inside, finding Orville Wreck. Hamboni and number 873, that is Danger Moose. Both tripods locked down. No lead jammer declared yet with 10 seconds on the period clock, and it is going to be Singular Mayhem. 6 points left. Singular Mayhem needs 9 points to close the gap here. Mayhem through, almost picking up 4 around the last blocker in Danger Moose. That is 4 points on the board. 5 points separate these two teams, and Crime Brulee still stuck in the back. Singular Mayhem just needs to rack up another 5 points, and it's done. We have a star pass to Cheeryborg on the team in white. Just kidding, to Hamboni. Hamboni now jamming. Singular Mayhem stuck right now. Edward Scullin headed to the penalty box. Singular Mayhem trying to get around Orville Wreck and Crime Brulee. Singular Mayhem 1 point between these teams with 27 seconds on the jam timer. Singular Mayhem needs 2 points to finish this game out. They've got 1, they've got 2. There is the call off. Singular Mayhem winning the game. Oh, just kidding. Cowboys were able to pick up 1 last point at the end there, which is going to put us at Cowboys 189 to Aliens 188. Goodness gracious, that was an amazing game. 1 point separating our teams at the end here. Now granted, I was going to say that was an unofficial score, but now it is final. Both teams fought it out to the bitter end. Cowboys did come out on top with a final score of 189 to 188. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, folks. I hope to see you back here tomorrow. And now we're going to send it down to the floor for MVPs.
we'll have MVP Jammer.
MVP Jammer is Belly Flop.
Belly flop right here. Great game. Absolutely great game. Oh, excellent. Awesome. Okay, and then how about MVP Blocker?
MVP Blocker is Sunny.
Sonny had a great game as well. All right, give it up. Excellent. Okay, and how about you guys? MVP Jammer?
Alpaca.
Alpaca. Awesome. What a great game. And then Blocker.
Brat.
Brat. All right. Great. So they have a little photo right here. Oh, we have a. Oh, first bout.
We have a first-time bouter with us today, and it is Crime Brulee.
Wow, awesome. And a great game too. Great game today. So that's awesome. All right. So we can have all our MVPs right here in the middle for a photo op, please. And thanks everyone for coming out. After the photos, we'll have the teams gather over by the scoreboard. Thank you all.